Hey, it's Matt Brown here from Dead Parade and Matt Brown's Guitar Studio, and I'm going to teach you a 90s alternative classic. This is Asylum's Misery. So this one has an awful lot of guitars layered in here, so what I'm going to kind of do is teach you exactly how it's played on the recording and maybe give you some tips on how to arrange something like this if you were to want to cover it for, like a live performance with one or two guitars. Alright, so let's head back to the beginning and look at everything there. At the beginning of the song, we're going to have three guitar parts. We have an electric and two acoustics. So the first electric guitar part is pretty much just playing out of one chord shape for the first four bars. And the interesting thing here is, even though this guitar is playing out of just one chord shape, the harmony underneath it and the overall harmony for the song is changing. So what we're playing out of is a C sus2 chord, and that carries through the first four bars. So we have fret-wise, this is on your top 5 strings, 3, 5, 5, 3, 3. So I'll play this for you now. Alright, so it's just basically ad-libbed arpeggiation of this C sus2 chord. So now let's look at the second acoustic guitar and see what this one's doing. It's basically playing out of this F sus2 shape, which is on 3, open 1. That's your 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, and kind of like a C shape, your tried and true C shape. So let's look at this guitar for the intro. So that's it there, and you want to let all of these notes ring. So like I said, F sus2 to a C chord, and then some C major pentatonic scale stuff with some hammer-ons and pull-offs down there, open and 2nd frets. All right, so let's look at the third guitar, which is also an acoustic now. So what this guitar is implying is kind of like the F to C type thing, but with some double stops. So the double stops that are implying these chords would be 6 and 5 on your high strings. That's going to imply your F. And then you're going to have the C at 5 and 3. Okay, so at this point we have the verse. In the acoustic part that I was just playing with the double stops, that guitar is going to go into the strumming for the verse, so I'll play that for you now. Chord-wise, what we have here going on, first chord is just our C chord. The next chord I'm going to call a C add 2/B. So what this is, it's 2, open, open, 1, open, and we're not playing the 6th string. So that's the sound of that one. Next chord is just our tried and true A minor. Then the next chord is the big F bar chord. Then we're going to have 2 measures of C, and then 2 measures of A minor, but at the end of the second measure we're going to do like this little strum of a G chunk, which is just your open strings, open 4, 3, 2. So the strumming rhythm here is this 1, 2, and 4, or down, down, up, up, down. So So let's talk about the other guitar tracks here. The other guitars are basically doing like arpeggiations of the chords here. So the one guitar that was playing the C sus2, it's going to basically be playing out of like the higher notes, out of your C chords, your F, and your A chords here. So I'll show you that next. So there's that part. Now the other guitar, kind of doing the same thing but focusing on the lower notes of the chords with the arpeggiation. So let's check that out. Now we're to the pre-chorus, and there are an awful lot of guitars here being layered, kind of like the rest of the song, but even more. So what we have going on here is one guitar with an E-bow. This is, pretty distorted electric, just kind of sustaining a G note at the 5th fret of your 4th string. The other guitar is doing this kind of bend note. This is a C at your 3rd fret, bending up to a D and back down. So that's kind of there in the background. You have one guitar that's just doing this, and it's coming in a little bit before the beat to give it that kind of feel to the rhythm. So this is just a C chord played on 12, 13, 12 of the highest strings. But the other two guitars, the most important ones, are playing this kind of palm muted figure that I'll show you here. So let's check that out. Alright, so I'm just playing a C5 power chord, all with downstrums. Here this is 3-5-5. The last note though is an open A note, and then we're going to go to a G5, same type deal, with an open E at the end. Then we're doing F5 for 2 measures. Building up in the last measure into the next part of the song. Alright, let's check out that next part. This is the I know just what you need type part. Okay. Alright, so that's it right before the chorus. So, the main thing that I talk about here at the beginning is there's a time change to 5/4. So we're playing the F chord. So it's slowly just an F to C thing. Then we're going to do that again. Now we're changing back to 4/4. So F, C, G, and then the G is for 2 measures. So the other guitar is, this is the electric, is doing some higher voicings of the chords, basically with the same rhythm. So if you're arranging guitars like this, kind of the rule is just do the cage shape up from where you were playing before, or maybe 2 shapes up, and it's going to have this nice layering effect. Let's check out that part. So kind of just like a higher jangly version of the chord progression. So let's check out the main guitars for the chorus now. This is the Put Me Out of My Misery, I Do It For You, Would You Do It For Me part. Alright, there it is. So let's talk chords. We had C to G to F, that's the first part. So that's the first part. I'll do it again slowly. Alright, the next time we're going to have C, G, A minor, F, like this. Alright, the next time we're going to have C, G, A minor, F again. And what you might might be hearing that's different here this time around is the bass is playing different notes underneath this, so don't let that throw you off. Alright, then the end we have this, it's C, G, F. So kind of a syncopated rhythm here at the end. Alright, so just like the pre-chorus that I just showed you a second ago, the other guitars doing kind of higher voiced chords with the same chord progression. Let's check that out. Alright, so pretty simple there. Alright, let's move on and talk about what's happening with the later verses in the end of the song. So, the only thing to talk about really with the second verse is some of these like overdub parts. You know, lots of like reverb and delay to give you that kind of atmospheric effect. Sounds like he's using like a volume pedal too to kind of swoop in the volume to give it more atmosphere. So that's just a bend at the 8th fret of your 2nd string. The other little thing is, so that's just bending up the 4th fret a half step up and down. So then we're into the frustrated part, and that's pretty much the same as the other pre-chorus. And then, you know, the I Know Just What You Need 5/4 part, back into the chorus, which is going to be the same again. The next chorus, though, is going to lead us into our guitar solo. So let's see how that transitions. So what happens is all of the rhythm guitars are going to be holding out whatever F chord they were playing for two full bars of 4/4. And then what we're going to do is we have a key change to the key of A for the guitar solo. So kind of a you know, like a common Soul Asylum thing. Instead of doing like a vocal bridge, they'll do like an instrumental guitar solo type bridge. So the chords, anyway, we have. So what we have is A for 1 bar, E for 1 bar, D for 2 bars, A for 1 bar, E for 1 bar, and then we're going to do this F sharp minor chord. The strumming pattern is just a down, down, up, up, down type rhythm. Alright, so let's check out the guitar solo. So the first 2 bars are being held, or that we're going to play, are being played over that held F chord. Alright, so there it is. So what the scales that are being used is just the A major scale throughout the whole thing. The last note that ends on, though, is a C. So I'll play this real slowly in case you know, you need it. Here we go. Alright, so now the only part that we have to talk about is the ending to the song. This is kind of starts out when he's singing the frustrated, incorporated, and the vocal lines are overlapping with the, you know, the put me out of my misery part. So let's check that out. So that's it. It's just a chord progression that's going to repeat over, and it's just your 1-4-5 chords: C, G, F, and then the F is played for 2 bars at the end there. So it just ends with a final C chord. So what I'm going to do is go through the overdub tracks as well and show you what's being played there real quickly. So one guitar is just doing. just strumming the chords basically, just your C, G, F chords. The other guitar is doing some lead stuff out of maybe primarily your C major pentatonic and C major scales. So let's check that out. Alright, so that does it for this one. If you'd like to have my transcription of this, just shoot me an email and we can talk about that. Please subscribe to my Patreon and become a patron there. That's basically for unlimited access to all transcriptions that I have. And please subscribe to my YouTube and like this video. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you around for more lessons. I'm Matt Brown from Dead Parade and Matt Brown's Guitar Studio.